question. Every year they ask. Is my screen visible there?
Chapter. Yes.
Yeah, not here. They're for them. Yeah. Okay. So this is the heading haloalkenes and haloarenes.
Chapter, right?
Yeah. Organic, first chapter in organic, second textbook, part 2, textbook, first chapter, haloalkenes and haloarenes. So from the term itself, it's clear. It's about organic compound containing halogens, right? So basically last year you were talking about hydrocarbon. We discussed about hydrocarbon, alkenes and alkyne, where only carbon and hydrogen was there. We were basically looking for alkenes and alkyne, where carbon and hydrogen was there, and single, double bond, triple bond, and we discussed about their property, chemical reaction, etc. Here the first type of organic compound, they are containing halogens. So mostly it will be compound of chlorine, bromine and iodine. Fluoride compounds are very less, or you won't see them much here. Most of the halogen derivatives are chlorine, bromine and iodide derivative. So this is the outlook of your syllabus, haloalkane, haloarenes. Even though just like very less 1 or 2 line, there is a lot to discuss. Because they just write physical and chemical property, and that is 10 page.
What? We finished the process?
No. There is nine chapters in the first textbook, and we just finished 3. But some of them is removed, so we're waiting for it. This is the 10th chapter and the first chapter in that part 2 textbook.
This is the
10th chapter, but part 2 textbook, first chapter. Okay, in your syllabus. Yeah. So let's see without. So generally, if you want to define in simple words, what is haloalkenes and haloarene? They are hydrocarbons where one or more hydrogen is replaced with halogen. That means to understand it very in a simple words, just take the simple hydrocarbon, your methane, carbon with 4 hydrogen, and if you replace one hydrogen with chlorine or any halogen, what you get is haloalkenes. So X is generally for halogen. It can be any halogen. So I'm just writing X. So minimum 1 hydrogen. It can be more than 1 hydrogen. If you replace 2 hydrogen, your compound will be this. So minimum 1 hydrogen of a hydrocarbon is replaced with halogen. That is when it is called haloalkenes. So it's actually a derivative of hydrocarbon, or you can say halogen derivative of hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon can be aliphatic like long chain, or it could be like benzene also hydrocarbon, right? So even benzene also you can have one hydrogen replacing with halogen. So any hydrocarbon, whether it's a normal chain or aromatic compound, where you replace one of the hydrogen with halogen atom, that is what is called haloalkenes or haloarenes. The major difference between haloalkenes and haloarenes is that yeah, here there is A, sorry. What is the major difference between haloalkene and haloarene? That means if you take benzene with one halogen and you take methane with one halogen, what is the major difference between these two? Because this is known as haloalkane and this is known as haloarene. One is the aromatic, other one is that is there. But what is the major difference in terms of their bonding? sp2 and sp. That is a major difference you can see. Whenever you have carbon-carbon single bond or a single carbon making single bonds with hydrogen, it is sp3 hybridization. If it's a double bond, it is sp2 hybridization. And if it's a triple bond, then it is sp hybridization. So here in haloalkane, the carbon halogen bond is carbon is in sp3 hybridization. If it's an aromatic compound, we know that benzene contains double bond, which is moving throughout the ring. We discussed in the last chapter of organic in grade 11. Yeah. So here you can see double bond is there, mean carbon halogen bond is with sp2 carbon and halogen. Because here this carbon is part of a double bonding system. So that is how you can say haloalkane. Other name of haloalkane is alkyl halides. So both are technically same. Haloalkane is the IUPAC naming system. Alkyl halide is the common naming. Same compound, but a common system says that its name is alkyl halide, and as per the IUPAC naming system, its name is haloalkanes. Similarly, haloarenes or aryl halides. That's the basic thing you should know about what are halogen derivatives and haloalkenes and haloarenes.
Ma'am, so haloarene will basically occur when the halogen is attached to aromatic compounds, right? Because aromatic.
Yeah. Aromatic compound means you're basically learning benzene. So it is more similar words you can say a benzene ring with halogen. Because you're not learning other examples of aromatic compounds. You're basically focusing on benzene and its derivatives. So it's benzene with halogen. You can call it as haloarenes.
So benzene is only one of the aryl groups.
Yeah, there are many, like you might be knowing about naphthalenes. Naphthalene is like this. Anthracene. Anthracene. Like that, there are many aromatic compounds. So there are certain rule aromaticity and all that you're not learning. So basically you learn about benzene. Phenandrine, like that there are so many compounds in aromatic. As much you know in alkane, more than that is there in aromatic compound. Right. Now we'll discuss about the classification. There are different ways you can classify haloalkanes or haloarenes. The first one and the easiest classification is based on the number of halogen atom. If there is only one halogen atom in your organic compound, it is mono. If it is two, di, and if it is tri, three, it is tri. Or more than two is generally known as polyhalogens. Polyhalogens mean halogen derivatives containing more than two halogens in organic compound. So it can be with haloalkanes or it can be with haloarenes also. Here the structure itself is self-explanatory. You don't have to write anything extra, as their name itself is differentiating clearly.
For haloarenes, most of them is extensions of benzene.
When you learn the name IUPAC, no, so at that time it will be more clear. Yeah. Now onwards, you're drawing only structures. You will be expert in drawing the structures of aromatic or aliphatic compounds. By the end of the fourth organic chapter, you will be expert in all these things. So, by mistake also, if somebody asks you, you will say. Even when you're sleeping also, somebody wake you up and ask the question in organic, you will say that. You will even draw. You want to...
So, I guess the person will slap me while you woke me up.
At least if you don't want to everything, then at least this example you draw. I mean structure, so that it's clear. Yeah, mono halo alkene, dihalo. Any one example you show, so show the difference. Yeah, yeah, top three will be fine. So that you know that what they meant by mono, di, and tri. It's clear already, but still.
There are 5 chapters or 6 for organic this time.
Organic, basically 4 is there. Then that is related to the major part. Then you have biomolecules, chemistry in everyday life, polymers. That is like another section of organic.
All haloarenes are cyclic or
This one?
yeah, all of them are cyclic.
Yeah, closed cyclic arrangement. Because it's 6 carbon membered, right? Hexane, I mean the 6 carbon chain. I mean the cycle structure.
Sunday is not the carbon when we do. Sunday is not shown.
Ma'am, what I meant was are all haloarenes cyclic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is one of the requirement for a compound to be aromatic is it should be a closed or the cyclic arrangement. You cannot have that's the open chain compounds are entirely different. Aromatics are closed chain compounds.
No, C2.
Because these kind of same thing you can see in the next chapter, alcohols, classification, everything. So haloalkenes only will take little time. When you come to the next chapter, alcohol, then aldehydes and ketone, so many things is repeating over there. Only thing is that instead of halogen derivative, some other derivative will come. That's the only difference. So you need to know the. So this is the first type of classification of haloalkenes or haloarene based on number of halogen atoms.
Ma'am, can the halogen atoms be on the same carbon if it's two?
It can be, yeah. That is when we call it as vicinal or geminal dihalides. I'm coming to that point, like
Okay.
after this next slide. Vicinal and geminal. So many new terms. So
Ma'am,
in future,
the
It was
useful.
there last year, right?
Sorry?
yes, ma'am, we did that last year, right? The vicinal dihalide.
Vicinal and
Yeah, yeah.
light products.
Okay, can we move to the next one? I'm not explaining the details of this slide. You'll just write it and the explanation we'll do it on Sunday. Okay? Because another way of classifying haloalkanes or haloarenes is based on the hybridization of the carbon. That's we already discussed. But based on that, you can have different example. Carbon, if it's sp3 hybridization with halogen bond, that is examples are haloalkanes, benzylic halides, allylic halides. And if it is sp2 hydrogen carbon, hybridized carbon with halogen, then it is haloarenes and vinyl halides. So these terms, benzylic, allylic, vinylic are common names. So what is the drawback of the CBSE syllabus is that CBSE wants you to learn both common naming system and IUPAC naming system. Why?
Yes, that's why we don't all the ISO and all as well.
Ma'am, I think we have to
Yes.
learn common names so that when in board paper they can ask some random person to correct it also, they can understand. Maybe that's why.
Now actually in Cambridge curriculum and all, they just have IUPAC. They don't have the common naming system. They just follow IUPAC only. Common naming is not there for them.
Maybe if you want to buy industrial chemicals.
A-level, AS and A-level.
They're easier than us.
No man, A
Like those O-level, CBSE, A-level, CBSE, IGCSE, IGCSE, CBSE, ICSE, and IB. IB is on ICSE, CBSE, IGCSE.
IGCSE is top.
Yeah.
Bravo. Focus is CBSE. Sure. CBSE is not a different. Not that difficult. Compare Compared to IGCSE.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll discuss these terms in detail in the next class because I know that nobody is in the mood to know. If I'll draw benzylic halide structure and allylic halide structure, this is how.
Examples from naming examples. You can try naming.
Okay, then name this one.
Now that is.
Okay, the difference between allylic. Okay. Is there any difference between these two structures?
Yes, no, there is. There is one carbon atom.
That one went down. That
This is this is vinylic halogen and this is allylic. If I draw like this, also same thing only. Okay, don't think that it's different. The same thing only. No, these two have got extra thing. This is different from this. Okay. So I guess we can practice some naming, right? Yeah.
Yes, no,
We can practice some naming so that we are not going to the new terms.
No, today we are practicing naming. Today.
Can we? We'll do hydrocarbon naming so that I'm not teaching anything. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Size zero testing.
Yes.
You don't want to write me? It's okay, fine. Simple one. We'll start from simple, easy to difficult.
It's 3 methyl.
Methyl or ethyl? Try naming this compound. You don't have to copy it in the notebook. Just try like till that we finish this period.
There's 3 ethyl. Because there was CS.
What is the rule? What is the golden rule? IUPAC naming system. 2 golden rules we discussed last year. First rule.
Ma'am, the branched what's that? The branched one should have the lowest number.
First is go for the longest continuous carbon chain. You have to count in all the direction possible where you are getting largest number of carbon. In whichever way you are getting the longest carbon, that you need to take. Second rule is you have to number the carbon in such a way that the substituents, branches, functional groups getting least number possible. Say example, here you can count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can do it in the opposite direction. If I'll use another color, yeah, I can number it from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you count it from left to the right or right to the left, there are 7 carbon atoms. So it is same. That means we fix it as 7 carbon chain. But which way you have to count is decided by the position of the function, I mean the branch. If you use it in the red color, the one from right to the left, you can see it is on 3rd carbon atom. If you do it from left to the right, it is coming on the 5th carbon. So least number you should take mean you need to follow what I have written in red. 1, 2, 3. So it will be 3. And what is a branch? 2 carbons in branch, right? This is first carbon and this is 2 carbon. So 2 carbon branch, Eth is the root name and YL you have to put. So it will be 3-ethyl heptane because it's 7. Okay. Is it clear? 3-ethyl heptane. Can we go for next one?
What is?
No, hold on.
It's ethane minus 1 ounce.
Ethane without one hydrogen.
Anything minus 1 hydrogen is
Right.
So that means 6. C2H5.
Yeah. We lost him.
Like cheating in class.
No, I'll make it little.
No, that's that.
That's 3-dimethyl. Oh, okay.
No, I make it double bond. This is double bond. Okay.
What is that?
Then the brands won't be there.
Yes, Jonathan.
1, 2, 3.
5 carbon. Yeah. And there is double bond and 2 branches on third carbon.
Is it 3-dimethyl pentene?
3,3 because there are 2
Okay.
methyl groups, right?
Because there are 2.
3-dimethyl pent 2-ene because it's on second carbon. 5 carbon chain, and on the second carbon you have a double bond, and on the third carbon atom you have 2 branches, and that is 1 carbon chain. Branch is 1 carbon. Branch is 1 carbon. This is 1 carbon branch and another carbon branch. So 2 methyl branches are there.
And then there'll be 5 bonds for 1 carbon atom, right?
So I'll do one thing then. I'll change double bond here. I'll keep it here. I'll keep the double bond here.
So it's
So it will be
pentene.
pen 1-ene or pendene. Pen 1 is not required. Okay. Huh?
If it's not one, then you have to write as description.
Yeah. 1-ene no need to write 1. Otherwise you will write it as 2, 3 like that.
I say go home and study noodles.
Okay, fine. So we'll discuss more on Sunday. Bye bye. Happy weekend in advance. But it's not a weekend official start, okay? Tomorrow you have to study. You have to do your work. And for Girija ma'am told to inform you that there will be special class teachers assembly, okay? 7:30 tomorrow. Okay, please be available, okay? 7:30.
That's